What's up, Tiger Gang? This is JT from the Poco Moonshine family. We're back again with another episode of Chatting with Carnivores. Today we got Allison. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I cannot wait to hear your story. But let's start out. Where are you from and where are you at now,
Okay,
Allison?
I was raised in the Midwest, so Indiana mostly. I was born in Indiana. We lived in Lexington, Kentucky for about 4 years when I was in elementary school. Moved back to Indiana. And now I am in West Tennessee, right outside Memphis. Okay. And we've been here since 2016, so 7 years. And we love it here.
What's your favorite part there, or favorite part about it?
I don't know. I really liked changing everything, like just picking up and moving away. We moved away from all of our family. Honestly, I liked being anonymous in a big city again. And we are on the outskirts of Memphis, and it's a really small community. It's really, I really like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Rachel says, "Hey,
Hi, Rachel. She's my Memphis friend now. She's my new friend. She's my girl.
Keto Cheeto says he's in East
Yeah.
Tennessee."
Yeah. Most people always laugh and they'll say, "Oh, you live in Tennessee?" And I said, "Yeah, but probably not the place that you're thinking of. Not anywhere in the mountains." And
Yeah, Rachel
yes,
says I'm close by to
yes,
Allison.
she is. She's very close. We got to meet up.
Okay, guys, we'll come back to the comments a little bit, but we got to hear Allison's story first. So, what was your journey to carnivore? What led you to the carnivore diet?
Well, since I've been about 40, I'm 48 now. I just turned 48. And since I was about 40, I have really been struggling with my weight. And I always thought, oh, I'm 40 now. I'm a mom. I had small children at the time. And this is just my lot in life. And I've had a lot of autoimmune and medical issues from the time I was young, in my 20s. And so I'd been dieting on and off. I needed to lose about at least 25 pounds. And I'd been dieting on and off for years, 8 years. And about the middle of last year, I really decided, okay, I'm going to change my health. I'm going to improve my health. And I did learn about intermittent fasting, and that really helped me to stop snacking. But I was still eating a pretty junky diet. And then around January, the beginning of the year, I started, I was going to eat healthy salads, chicken, everything that they tell us is good. And I had almost like an allergic reaction to something I had eaten. And like I got tight, I felt like I couldn't get a deep breath. I could breathe, but like my face got really red, swollen. And I was like, this is insane. Why is this happening to me? And so I started looking up elimination diets, because I had kind of heard about that for treatment of different kinds of illnesses. And I was like, I've listened to Joe Rogan and I've heard Jordan Peterson say his daughter, Michaela Peterson's had all these issues. And so I found one of her videos and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do carnivore. I think in the very beginning, I did beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And I thought, I'm only going to do this for 2 weeks. I'm just 2 weeks, clean my system out. Well, after the 2 weeks, I thought, well, I'll do 30 days. And I just kept, like, for the first 2 months, it was, I'm just going to do this for a few more days. I'm going to do it 90 days. And then by the time it was 90 days, it was like, okay, I'm not addicted to food anymore. I've lost weight. I feel great. I'm going to this is my life now. This is my lifestyle. So that's how I got to it that way. So it's through Michaela Peterson. And then so I just dove right into the rabbit hole. I've watched 150 videos on it. I watch videos on carnivore every day, but after Michaela Peterson, I think I found Laura Spath, and I thought, oh, she's been doing this for 5 years. I'm not going to die. Am I going to have a heart attack? All that kind of thing. And then I found Dr. Barry as a guest because he was a guest on Michaela Peterson's podcast. And so after I found Dr. Barry, then I went down that medical, from the perspective of a doctor, and I went and watched all his videos.
So what health issues did you have prior, or are you still battling?
I really don't have as many battles with health issues anymore, but when I was um, 23, so this was in 1998, I was at work and I was a lab courier. So I would drive to doctor's offices, pick up blood specimens and other things and take them back to the lab. And while I was at a doctor's office picking up a specimen, I got very, very dizzy. I looked over my shoulder and I got like vertigo.
Hmm.
And I thought, how am I going to do this? So I drove back to work, and my mom was a nurse at that hospital. And so she got me home because I immediately started getting sick and throwing up. It was like my world was turned upside down. And so my mom, being a nurse, she was like, well, maybe this is an ear, nose, throat kind of issue. And so she took me to a specialist. We were very, very lucky. And I got an appointment the next day. And he did some tests like with a tuning fork, because my ear, I couldn't hear very well. It was really loud ringing and it felt really full. And so he said, what you're experiencing is something called Menieres disease. And he said, it's not fatal. It's just going to cause it's like inflammation in your inner ear. Your body is holding on to fluid and it's an imbalance. And so it sends signals to your brain that your environment is topsy-turvy or whatever. And I also got a migraine headache as the dizziness went on. So Meniere's disease has no known cause. It's considered autoimmune. And he said, what you need to do is low salt, no caffeine, no alcohol. I was 23, JT. So that was going to be tough. No soda, those types of things. Basically he gave me a pamphlet because, it wasn't computer time yet. And he's like, you need to follow like a diabetic diet. And he's like, there's salt in everything, all processed food. And I grew up on processed food, boxed food and fast food and that kind of thing. So I was like, this is for the birds. And so for a long time, many, many years, until I was probably about 30, I would only have an episode of vertigo 3-4 times a year, 5-6 times maybe. But then as I got older, I got married, and then we wanted to start a family. And when we were trying to have our first baby, we tried not for very long. And I went to the doctor and I was like, I'm not getting pregnant. This is ridiculous. And she's like, well, what about, she asked me some questions, and it turned out I had a thyroid disease called Graves' disease. And it's not, I don't know. I wonder a lot if Graves' disease can be treated, would work well with a carnivore diet. I'm sure it would. But she said, well, what you have to do is the treatment for Graves' disease is you have to take a pill that is radiation. It's like a radioactive iodine pill. And you just take it, and the radiation only affects your thyroid gland. And so it kills you, it deadens your gland, so it won't work at all. And what that means is you have to take a thyroid replacement pill for the rest of your life. And I was 30, and I was like, okay, I can do that, because I was already taking some medication for my Menieres. I was like, okay, just another pill. And she's like, you can't get pregnant for at least 6 months because you have, there's radiation or radioactive material in your body. It was really wild. And so immediately after 6 months, I got pregnant and was able to I have later had 2 children. I have 2 daughters, and they're teenagers now. But I always had these strange, like uncommon autoimmune issues. Like, the Meniere's disease was really bad. After I started having babies, my body was just like, it just gave up the ghost. And it was like, I was getting dizzy constantly. And so I couldn't live. It was very debilitating, because the only thing I could do if I felt something coming on was go home, get in bed with the, lights out in the dark. And I would be out for, half a day. And so I just always struggled with that. And I finally got to the point where I couldn't work very well. The girls were really little, like 4 and 7. And I had done all these treatments. They had told me I've had surgery. I had injections. I had 10 injections into my left ear to try to calm it down, just to get it calmed down. And nothing would work. It would work for a little bit and then it would wear off and I'd start getting dizzy again. And it was just, I couldn't do it. I was depressed. I couldn't take care of my kids. My husband had to do it all. And he was traveling to California from Indiana for work. And so I finally Googled a specialist in Indianapolis. And I said, you have to do this surgery on me. And it's called a labyrinthectomy. And so it's the inner ear. He went in, he's like, well, we have to do all these tests. I had to go through all these tests again. And he's like, we got to try some injections. And so that was the last set of my injections and it didn't work. And so he said, well, and by this time I couldn't hear out of that ear because every time I'd have an episode, it would damage the hearing follicles or whatever. So I just said, you have to do the surgery. And he's like, okay. But this is going to be life-changing. You won't be able to hear at all. And I said, that's fine. I can't hear anyway. And so I had surgery for my Menieres disease, which was a treatment. And that was in 2014. So now I'm totally deaf in my left ear. But, like I said, my hearing went away gradually. So I really do wonder how well Carnivore would have treated both of those conditions. I haven't had trouble with any more of those autoimmune issues like that, except I do have rosacea, which is considered autoimmune. And I have this weird thing, like it's called uveitis and it's in my left eye. It's like the left side of my body is the bad side. It's the weak side. So 4 years ago, I thought I had pink eye, but it was really painful. And I went to the eye doctor and they were like, that's not pink eye. It's uveitis. It's a part of your eye that's inflamed. Again, inflammation. And the first case I had of it got really, really bad. And so I had to go to a specialist. And now we lived here. So we lived in Memphis and we went to this world-renowned place. And she's like, we just have to give you steroid eye drops until it calms down. And it took 6 weeks for it to settle down. And she ordered 25 like lab tests to test for lupus and Lyme disease and all of these things. She asked me, are you diabetic? And I said, no, nobody's ever told me I'm diabetic. Well, I found my records and my A1C at the time was 6. So, because I was overweight. So I think, is 6 considered diabetic or is it still on the edge of being pre-diabetic? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. And I don't want to give anybody a bum steer.
Right. So anyway, I was at least pre-diabetic and that was in 2019. And she said, I can't determine what the exact cause is of your inflammation in your eye, but it could be like a shingles outbreak because I was having this sensory, like this sensation that right through under my eye and all the way up through here, it felt like somebody had put a needle under there and was just like pulling on it. And it was a nerve thing and it would get red. It was wild. It was horrible. And she said it could be shingles, So that's what I've been dealing with the last couple of years with, autoimmune problems. But yeah, so that's some information for you. How's that?
Sean from Intentional Carnivore says pre-diabetic. Is that
okay?
Answer?
Yeah.
Above 6.5 is considered diabetic.
Okay. So I was
Thanks, Sean.
solid. Yeah, thank you. I was a solid pre-diabetic.
Somebody's out there has got an awareness that I don't have that awareness yet, so I'm still learning. That's you guys, I'm telling you, if any of you guys can relate to some of those issues out there, hit up Alison because she could definitely give you some words of encouragement. What about your emotional eating and food triggers and stuff like that? How is that going on the carnivore diet? And how was that pre-carnivore diet?
Oh,
Could you talk about that a little bit?
sure. Yeah. I can remember I was not overweight as a child. I really didn't I gained a lot of weight when I was 40, and it was right after I'd had my surgery and I couldn't work. I was home. I got laid off, but it was a good thing. And so I can remember being a young child and thinking about food. And we always thought about, okay, this is breakfast, the next meal, always. And, celebrations, and if you're happy and if you're sad, and I've been very attached emotionally to food since I was in elementary school. But somehow I never really developed, or I never just gained a lot of weight until I was older. And my body was like, forget it, lady. We can't do this anymore. And I just, I started packing on the pounds. But since starting carnivore, and I was drinking. I have had wine and alcohol since I was old enough to drink. And
I had it before I was old.
I was going to say, it may be a little before. Yeah.
I'll
But
be honest with you guys.
yes, but alcohol was always a go-to, when, again, happy, sad, whatever. And so when I started carnivore in the middle of January, I was drinking a lot of wine every night, and I had been for months, really. So I started carnivore 2 weeks into it. I hadn't even thought about having any wine. And that was a big deal. Like, we would turn on the Netflix and stream, and we'd drink a bottle of wine, me and my husband, in a night. And that's what I looked forward to, along with food. And so I cannot believe, I still am shocked, because I rarely think about drinking. Sometimes I think about, eating, it's more carbs, like pizza. I'll think about it sometimes now, but the cravings really went away within like 30 days. And it was incredible. So I work with little young children, like 3-year-olds, and there's always candy, tons of candy, and baked goods, cupcakes, and I like 4 sets of cupcakes, in the workroom. And it's always been there. And so I knew when I first started carnivore in January, I was working there, I knew that I would have to abstain from eating the candy or whatever. And I started, I abstained from it immediately. And I really never think about it at all at work. When I'm at work, I only work 2 days a week. So it's not like I'm working there every day. So that's good.
So when you do get something that's triggering you, like a scent or something, like for me, it was the smell of the popcorn truck at the zoo. Because
Yeah.
we got they have these at the zoo by us. They have these red, cute wooden wagons, like a
Yes.
real coach wagon, but
Yeah.
they just sell popcorn out of it. And we were getting closer and closer to that popcorn wagon, and I smelled it more and more.
Yeah.
I had to start speed walking like one of
Yes.
the peacocks there, because
Yeah.
I just couldn't smell it. I was like, dude, get
Right.
this away from me. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
what
Absolutely.
do you do? Do you leave the room? Do you run? Do you, what do you
Right.
do?
Yeah. Get the heck out of it. Yeah. This really hit me in June. We went to the beach, and everybody wanted to go for ice cream. And so it was just me and my kids and a couple of my not cousins, nieces and nephews. And so we went to an ice cream shop, and I was kind of take it or leave it with ice cream. Weird. But we went in there, and it was like rolled ice cream, and they're like making it. And I was in there, and I was starting like, I had to leave and go to the car. I said, because I can't sit in here and watch you and smell it. So I had to leave. And that's what I usually do. Sometimes Walmart in the beginning, in the front of the store, you'll smell that Subway. And then there's all of the baked goods. And I just have to go to the back of the store, or I have to get away from it, because sometimes, especially with the smells, oh my gosh, that it can overtake all your other senses, and you
What
just
would
like,
your tip be to people who get triggered by smells, or or just even looking at the food?
I if you can get out of it, get out of this situation, I would just get out of the situation. That I really my life is very, I have a routine and I don't go out of my comfort zone. So I am not out amongst the food temptations that often. So I'm lucky that way. And I do really well with that, because if I was constantly tempted, I would have already stumbled more than I have. I had a big stumble in June with alcohol when I went out to, I mean, well, yeah, I overconsumed and felt terrible because I had forgotten. I didn't think about it. I had a plan. I
It's
had
a
a
good
plan.
reminder, right?
Yeah, I had a plan. I'm only going to drink one glass of wine. I had decided I was going to have one glass of wine. Do you think I had just one? No, because
Yeah.
I'm all or nothing. And so I
Moderation
had,
is tough.
no, yeah, I can't moderate. And so I I felt terrible after that, and I thought it was a good reminder. I thought, you know, I'm not doing this again. The next day it was rough. And I had forgotten that, because I don't eat any carbs anymore, it hit me faster than it would have in December. I'm a lightweight now, so, you know.
Yeah, no, I would suggest to people, just do your best. And
Mhm.
if you do go off the rails with bad food or
Yeah.
alcohol or smoking or something like that, listen to your body, man. If it's giving you a hard time, if it's saying, "Wow, why did you do that?" Use that as a blessing. Then say, "Man, I needed this reminder," and hold on to it like a reminder card as to
That's true.
why you don't want to do that anymore. So that would be my suggestion. If you guys fall off, use it as something that's going to empower you in the future, because it's like that. I remember now. Okay, it's like a
Yeah.
great reminder to help keeping you on the track. So falling off is no biggie, but as long as you get back with the right mindset, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are some of your non-scale victories?
Oh, okay. So I wanted to tell you about the anxiety and depression. So I have been on antidepressants and off of them since I was 25. When I was 25, I have a very small family growing up. There were only 9 of us total. That's all my cousins. I only had one cousin, my aunts, blah, 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 my mom's family. And when I was 25, my cousin got killed. He had an accident. He was in an accident and he died. And so it was devastating. He was 2 years older than me. So he was 27 at the time. And my mom was like, well, you need to go on Zoloft or Effexor. I can't remember which one. You need to go on an antidepressant. This will help your grief. And that was very, very common to take a pill and, for your mental health. So I was like, okay. I was on that for, I don't remember, like probably until I got married and started having kids. So 5 years. And then I went off, I got off because I was pregnant. And so I've always had some kind of depression or anxiety until I was 40. And at 40, I was like, I don't want to take these anymore. So I was still taking either Zoloft or Effexor. I can't remember. And I didn't wean off, but I didn't wean slowly, but I didn't really have any bad side effects, thank God. So I've had, like underlying depression since I was pretty young, and anxiety. And my anxiety really got bad probably once I started having kids. It got worse, like, what if this happens? What if this happens? And having these flashes, because I had some of that after my first daughter was born. And then it just kept going. And they were like, oh, well, that's just what it's like to be a parent, just have anxiety. I was like, yeah, I don't think it's quite like that. But so like it got to the point the last 3 years, it had since 2020, it had really, really heightened. Like I could hardly ride in the car without, like, oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if this happens? I drove my husband crazy with the what ifs. And he's like, would you stop? You can't control any of that. And so since I've been carnivore, my anxiety has gone down so much. It's not completely gone, of course, but it's gone down so much. It's probably improved 90%. And that low underlying depression of, I just want to go home and watch Netflix and sit on my couch all day, don't go outside, don't change out of my PJs. All that depression is gone. Like I wake up and I want to do stuff and I want to interact with people. I go places, I did have some social anxiety especially during 2020, because I couldn't hear anybody. I couldn't see their faces because, they had this on or there was plastic, and I'd be trying to lean around and like, I'd pull mine down to try to hear them. And I'm like, that's not how it works.
I did that so many times during the pandemic.
Yeah.
As if taking the mask off of my mouth would help me hear better.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but I've done that a million times. I hated that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so a lot of that social anxiety is gone because I don't worry that people are looking at me, because nobody's looking at me. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at me. And so all of that has really improved 100, just so much. It's not, like I said, it's not completely gone because I have teenagers and one of them drives. And so there's some, there's that, but that has been the biggest help, and the brain fog has lifted. I have energy throughout the day. I don't get hungry and I don't have the crash. My rosacea is much better. I still get flushed and red sometimes, but I don't have, it's not nearly as bad. So those are but the anxiety and the depression, that's probably the biggest.
Your favorite ones to be gone?
It's definitely my favorite. Yeah, I'm not scared of living my life anymore,
Now, how many meals a day are you eating, Alison?
I eat about, for like the last 3 months, I eat about 3 meals a day because I've been having trouble with like food aversions or meat aversions. And so if I can eat, because I need to get enough, I want to make sure I'm eating enough calories. Accidentally, I underate around month 3 or 4. And I ended up losing some hair, shedding some hair. And I was like, I never want that to happen again, because I have a lot of hair, but I lost about half of it. Thank God I have a lot of hair. Wow. Yeah. And it wasn't bald spots. It was just shedding it. And it was,
you wouldn't know because you have a full head of hair. So if you lost half of it, you really had a head of hair.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. But so I do kind of track to make sure I'm getting enough calories. And I don't care about how many calories I'm eating. I just don't want to eat under, a certain amount. So I eat about 3 meals a day because I can't eat a lot at one time because my body's like, no, I can't do OMAD. I can do 2MAD. But I have noticed that I'm getting hungry a little more. So I've been eating about 3 meals a day.
3 meals a day. Yeah. Since I'm getting so close to my goal weight.
Yeah.
I can't do OMAD anymore. And nothing wrong with the people doing 1 meal a day, but I feel like they're not as far in their journey. When you start getting down to your goal weight, there's just no way you're going to be satisfied with 1 meal a day because your body has no fat to feed on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be begging you for more food. So at least that's where I'm at. It's not a bad thing. I just find that I'm eating more. I can polish off a ribeye so easily. It's like I just wink and it's gone. It's just. And before, when I started carnivore, I would have to split a ribeye into 2 days or 2 meals. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to eat one and then save the rest of it, put it in the air fryer with some extra butter. I wouldn't throw it out. But now, that ribeye it doesn't have a chance. It's just gone.
Yeah. So exactly. I have been eating the last few days just burger patties because I'm telling you, we went to the stores and they have meat out that is spoiled already. It's sitting in the cases. And that turned me off so badly. And so then we went to another store and the steaks, I was looking at them and they were not good.
Mm.
I mean, they were, and it just repulsed me. So
I've
I
been
told
going to
Dale,
Farmers, Allison. I've
I
been going
know.
right to the Farmers. I got a
Yeah.
new one coming out on Saturday, Schmidt Century Farm. It
Mhm.
is so awesome. You get to go and get your beef right from the dang farmers.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We do have a farm that's really close to us, and they do a beef sale once a month. And but you got to get there because people are lined up.
You should make a vlog on it and let some people in your area know
Yeah,
about them and get some more people over there instead of wherever you were for
yeah,
the meat.
the big box store. So yeah, I've
Yeah.
been doing frozen beef patties, and it's fine.
You put butter with your burgers? Because I
I
do
have.
butter burgers.
Yeah, I have. I did butter with everything. I did butter in my coffee for months and months, but I think I was getting a little too much fat because not I wasn't having bathroom issues, but I was having like nausea issues after I'd
Hmm.
have my coffee a little. And so I thought, well, let me try just 80-20 frozen burgers and make sure I'm getting enough fat, which I've been tracking. So I have been getting enough fat, but just to see how I feel. But I love butter. I put butter on everything.
So what else besides the patties are you eating during like a normal week? I know
Yeah,
recently you've been on patties, but
yeah. Normally, I eat a lot of eggs, um,
how do you like your
and
eggs?
I like my eggs. I don't know, they're slutty, like scrambled, soft scrambled. I guess
Yep, yep.
I call them slutty eggs with a lot of butter. That's a term from Nisha Berry. I think that she calls them that, or she said that, and I was like, okay, that's what we call them. But I that's how I eat my eggs. And just steaks, sirloin. I my favorite is ribeye,
It's your
but
favorite cut of beef? I
yeah,
love asking that question.
yeah,
I want to know.
yeah,
Ribeye, it's just got the perfect amount
yeah,
of meat and fat, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But it took me a while to adjust to that, because
Me
I
too.
wasn't eating hardly any fatty red meat my really my whole life,
The
and
fat tastes
so
so good now. I'll get it
yeah,
in my mouth and it literally starts to just melt in my
yeah,
mouth like butter itself. Like, and
hmm
I never had that before. I used to eat steaks. I was like, ew, there's a fat
it's
piece, and
gross.
I'd
Yes,
put that off to the side. But now I'm like,
yeah,
oh, it's so
I
good.
know, yeah.
Isn't it amazing how we
It
change?
is. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe it. There's only two people I've ever known that liked the fat on a steak. It was my dad and my husband. Dale has always liked ribeye, and we were always like, "Ooh, that's so gross." And now it's like, let's get the ribeyes.
Ribeye.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
is what does your family say about your diet?
They've gotten used to it because I am very, nobody's that surprised when after I first told them, like, look, I'm going to do this really extreme thing and I'm only going to do it for 2 weeks. And at first they were like, okay, that's weird. Why are you doing it? And I was telling them why. And so now it's like, and they're supportive. So Dale is my husband, Dale, he's like ketovore. He's very meat heavy, but he does eat other things. He's one of the only people I know that's a moderator. I'm an abstainer. He's a moderator. He
If
can
it works
have a
for
little
him,
bit.
that's
I
more
know.
power to him.
It's great for him. And so he's been, after he saw me start losing weight in the first 6 weeks, he's like, oh, I'm going to try this. And then, yeah, I'd be watching the Dr. Berry videos and he's like, oh my gosh, we didn't know all this
The
stuff.
Dr. Berry thing.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That phone. It's always that picture. Yeah. And so my immediate family, my nuclear family, they're like, okay, whatever. Um, and my extended family is still pretty small, but they're like, that's great, go for it. And they're very supportive. And my sister-in-law, she always has the things that I want, butter, and she makes my coffee for me. She's so sweet.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, she's like, okay, you want some keto coffee? This, what we call it. But yeah, and so they're like it's no big deal to them now. They're all very supportive, and I don't live close to any of my family. They still all live in Indiana. So when I do go home, we went over there for Labor Day, and they had all the Labor Day stuff, and they were all enjoying it. I did have the emotional part, like, oh, I can't eat any of this except this burger. And my brother, he will smoke me things, but he made me some burgers and some brisket, I think. And so I'm like, all I can have is this. And he was like eating some, they had my favorite thing, which is brownies, my mom's boxed brownies. I know it's kind of white trashy, but it's my favorite thing. And so they were sitting there, and I said to my brother, I said, I really want to eat a brownie. And I haven't had anything like that since January. And he's like, you don't want to. You think you want to, but you don't. You really don't. And he talked me out of it. And I said, well, I'm going to go outside now.
That's a good brother.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
He knew you would have regretted that.
Yeah.
And then you would be beating yourself up over a brownie. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. And it would have made me feel terrible. It really would have. So they're
what
very
about
supportive.
Your friends and coworkers and stuff?
They're all like, well, I do have a few people say, well, when are you going to stop eating this way? And they would ask me that in the beginning. And I said, I'm only doing it for a month. I'm just going to do it for 30 days.
Little did she know.
Yeah. Just kept going. And somebody asked me, I said, why would I start eating differently now? I'm not going to go back now. I'm off the carbs and the sugar. And I never liked vegetables. And I obviously, but I never really liked fruit even.
No, fruits and vegetables. Make sure
Yeah.
you guys go subscribe. Yeah, you can still talk. I was just pulling this up while
you
were.
Sorry. But yeah, I never even liked fruit that much. I always I did like apples, but really that's like it. And so I'm like, why would I start eating something that I don't like? Why would I reintroduce that? And I thought, if I'm off sugar, I'm not trying to pick that back up.
Absolutely.
Or carbs. I really, I was more of a carb person, like, so yeah.
You guys go subscribe.
Thank you.
Alison Johnson, she's at 188 subscribers. I know we can get her up to 200. You'll have to use this thumbnail again. I see you got 3,000 views on that one. Anytime you get a good successful video, try to reuse the title and the thumbnail just with a different video.
Okay.
That's like a YouTuber tip there for you guys. Yeah. They don't care if you reuse thumbnails and titles. You just can't keep using the same video content. But if you make it very similar and cut another video just like it, it should do just as well.
Okay.
Make it the same length too. Same length. That's another tip, because then the algorithm picks it up and says, whoa, this is very similar. It's got the title, the thumbnail, the same length. They're like, whoa, maybe we should suggest this again.
Oh, okay.
You got to trick it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, aren't we sneaky? I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we went over your favorite cut of beef.
Yeah.
What's the most interesting thing you've found about carnivore diet so far?
How well it works. Yeah. I'm really shocked. I think most people are. How can you eat meat, which I don't eat a lot of cheese. I do sometimes. I don't eat a lot of pork or bacon because it kind of messes with my eye a little bit. It's weird, but so I do it sparingly. I get a headache and I get some nasal
from bacon
congestion. Yeah, from bacon.
Wow.
And dairy does it a little bit too, but I've known that for months. So I'm so fascinated by how carnivore way of eating just heals us, because it's been 70 years really in the making of big food and that kind of thing, and it's shocking, all of these things that we thought are the complete opposite.
Like Carrie's new video, everything's upside down or backwards. I think he said it's just wild. It really is, though.
Yeah, it really is.
Should we get some comments, Alison?
Sure.
Okay, let's see here. Sean, Intentional Carnivore. What's up, Alison? Hey, GT. What's up, Sean? That's
Thanks
my buddy.
For watching. Yeah.
Rachel, Intentional Carnivore. I joined Steak and Butter Gang on Friday. Excited to try something new. A little nervous with priming. Go for it, Rachel. Steak and Butter Gang is really helping a lot of people. God bless them. Yeah. Mike, what's up, dude?
Hi, Mike.
He's always like, hi, family. Hey, dude.
I know.
Sean says, trust the process, friend. It's good stuff. You got this. Yeah, I think he's talking about the steak and butter gang. Yeah, she knows what she's doing over there. So
Oh yeah.
listen to her. My coach always says, go to someone who knows how to do what you want to do and do exactly what they say, and you're gonna win. He said winning's real easy, but you don't go to someone who doesn't know how to do what you want to do and take their advice, because it's like seeing a sick doctor. Then you're just probably not going to get the best advice.
Right. Yeah.
Mike says, I'm good, Sean. Oh, if you guys got a Q, put a Q in front of it for Alison here, and it just helps me see the questions a little bit better. But we'll go through some comments, and then I'll start looking for Qs because there does seem to be a lot of comments. I'm good, Sean. Worked out hard earlier, had a nice meal, and now chilling with my carnivore family. What do you do for workouts? I'm glad he brought that up.
For workouts, I have been following.
Exercise.
Yeah. So I walk a lot. We have a great neighborhood. It's wooded. And so I walk a lot. I just started sprinting. I don't know.
Do you jog?
I don't jog. No.
Okay. Don't put both. I tell all ladies that jog or walk, don't put both earbuds in, because somebody could snap you and you don't even know,
That's right. I don't even use one because I got glasses and I can't hear on this ear, so
if you used one, then you would basically have two. And my goodness,
exactly.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just walk, and mostly a lot of times with my husband Dale, I do sprints because that's the new thing right now. That's the rage.
Yeah, everybody's sprinting.
Yeah,
like it's new. Like we never ran from a tiger or something from the past. It's new.
And I do like a program with weights just 2 times a week. And I just started that. I did start that in August. And I've been doing it since then, but just twice a week, 30 minutes, nothing like crazy, but gotta do that, especially when you get older, for longevity.
I wanted to do a blast from the past and bust out my Tybo tapes.
That's right. Billy Blanks.
Remember, he go double time. I'm like, and then how many times I did double time and then go like this and then hit my chin. And I'm like, oh, I hate double time. Like I never got it right. It was too fast. I just beat my hell out of myself every time.
Oh, I love Tybo.
Yeah, Tybo. That was, man. Put in the comments if you guys remember Tybo. Everybody bought those DVDs, man, or VHS. I couldn't remember what it was, but whatever it was, everybody was ordering Tybo.
Yeah, because you get the TV commercial. You got to call. Yeah. To order, because that was in the
Oh man, that's fun. Tybo. I'm gonna have to Tybo it back up again.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Minimalist Carnivore. Hi. Hello, how you doing? Carnivore brothers. Sorry I missed you. Now with Carnivore, I'm confident I'm never going back. My body's healing. Good for you, man. There's so many success stories in so little time for me to share them on Chatting with Carnivores. I swear.
Oh. You're doing great with that, JT.
Thank you. Bold Carnivore. Hello, bold friends. I had him on here too. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I haven't really met anybody I haven't liked yet. So really, I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, I love the Carnivores, honestly. Yeah. Rachel says, hey guys. Rick, I make popcorn for friends. I rarely want to eat it. Rick, you've got some dang discipline, boy, because I smell the popcorn and woo, it just starts breaking down my walls. I usually get explosive headache after eating popcorn. I usually get explosive gas after eating. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick's got it. Nothing tastes better than steak.
Yeah.
Do you reverse sear anything, Alison?
Dale does all of that. I don't do that.
Man, we're doing the reverse sear now. Like you just you cook it a little bit to about it hits 100, and then you get it seared on the outside with some beef tallow. Oh, ever since Carrie did that, I swear my wife has not stopped reverse searing everything, and I don't want her to stop. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, Dale does all the grilling, and I do eggs. I never like to cook, so that's another thing. It just takes the guesswork out of it. I don't have to make recipes and make all this with all these ingredients.
It makes the whole night. Then you can get back to living your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike is eating burger patties too. He's going a little less steak and he's going to go more burger patties like you.
Yeah.
Let us know how that works out, Mike, because I think it worked just fine. I don't think everybody needs to have $16 ribeyes every time they eat a meal. Let's see here. I'm looking for cues, guys. Bold Carnivore, I just subbed to Alison's channel. Thank you. I appreciate that, and she does too.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh, y'all, I ordered some of that beef Wagyu tallow last week. Still hasn't arrived from Amazon. Anyone have that issue? Ooh, you better hit them up, especially if you got Prime. Tell them, where is it at?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get my beef tallow from this local farm, Hickory Road Farm, and she's got cooking tallow, and she's even got whipped beef tallow that you can use for moisturizer, and she's got non-scented or lavender. So I picked up some of the lavender because my grandmother, she passed in 2015. I miss her, and that was her favorite smell. She always had lavender on, so whenever I smell lavender, I feel a little closer to my grandmother.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Oh, Carnivore Scott said, it's good to hear, Alison. Yeah, all of it's good to hear, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
It is. Rick says 3 meals a day for me always. Yeah, I'm more like right now 2 meals a day. I'll eat like a big breakfast, maybe a little snack, like something like an egg or 2 for like lunch if I'm still hungry,
Yeah.
And then dinner, bring on the ribeye.
Yeah, it's what's for dinner.
You're right. Robert Bubba Baker. My dude Bubba. How you doing? All right, you guys, I'm looking for cues now. Yes, everyone should be carnivore.
Yeah.
I agree, Rick. You're 40 years of it, Rick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, there's a lot of comments to go through here. Wow.
We're chatting it up.
Yeah, Carnivore Brothers, just subbed to Alison. Thank you.
Thank you.
He said, subbed, I'll check out your content. Love meeting new carnivores. Me too. And I get to do it on here,
I know.
It's awesome. And it's so cool. I get to meet new people. I didn't even leave the house. Like,
right, yeah.
People don't like understand how much of a blessing YouTube is.
Yeah, I love YouTube. I've always.
That's how I found about the carnivore diet. Yeah. Like, it has been such a blessing in my life, and I'm making all these cool family memories with my family, like vlogging, like that I probably never would have made if I didn't have the channel. Like, YouTube is a blessing.
Yeah, I agree.
Bubba says he subbed.
All right, thank you.
Sean, text you, JT. Everyone hit the like button. Okay, I'll check it out, Sean. And Sean, if you're still watching, check your emails, bud. I sent you 2 videos I want you to check. One's for Carrie's channel, and one's for your channel. If you want it. If you don't want it, I'll put it on my channel. No biggie. I try to just be a go-giver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
as much as I
absolutely.
Can.
Yeah.
I feel better after eating meat. Yeah, me too. Well, eggs as well. Yeah, me too. I got to have my scrambled eggs, man.
Yeah.
And I just started eating farm fresh eggs now that I'm going to these farms. So like maybe I'm like my 3rd or 4th dozen of farm fresh eggs in my entire life. Like otherwise I've always had just store-bought eggs my entire life. I
always did until right before we moved down here. There was a farm right by there, and we'd get eggs, so it's just been in like the last 8 years that I've
use any electrolytes, Alison?
Yeah, I do. I already knew about Element even before Carnivore, so I started that because especially when I was under eating, I was waking up with the most hellacious leg cramps, like from the bottom of my foot all the way up. And the only thing, I couldn't rub it, I had to stand up out of bed and like walk around to get it to release. And so
you getting magnesium?
Yeah.
That helps with muscle stiffness a lot.
Yeah. I do take one magnesium supplement at night. It's like a nighttime blend. It's a blend of something.
It's probably not a bad idea, guys.
Yeah.
Because magnesium helps with muscle stiffness no matter what diet you're on.
Yeah. So that happened to me like month 3 or 4 or so, April or May. And let me tell you, I have not missed my element since then.
That's great.
So, yeah.
I tell everybody I used to take electrolytes nonstop before Carnivore. I always felt lethargic and tired and weak. And ever since I started eating all these steaks, man, I can't even go to bed. I'm up till like 3 a.m. and I'm not drinking no electrolytes. I feel like a Terminator sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
Wild.
Yeah.
Carnivore Scott, I'm all over that like button like a goose on a June bug or a beggar on a bologna sandwich. Hey, I'll take the bologna and just throw the bread.
Yeah.
That's the duck food, like Rick says.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, here's a cue.
Oh, good.
What about your girls, Allison? Do they do keto carnivore?
They do keto, dirty keto. But my daughter is my oldest daughter's 16. She's almost 17, and my younger daughter's 14. And we've raised them the way I was raised, on sugar, carbs, and some vegetables, because you gotta have vegetables. But so when I first started eating this way, they were like, "You are crazy," and we're not doing that, because they're 16 and 14, and they go to school, and you would be shocked. Well, you wouldn't be shocked, but
They ain't talking about carnivore in high school. I can tell you that.
No,
It's probably
giving out,
veganism, but not carnivore.
right. Yeah. So, but now what I've been telling them is, I want you to prioritize your protein. I want you to eat burgers. I want you to eat steak, because they both like steak. Prioritize that. Bacon. I do make them bacon. I meal prep for them on the weekends so that they can take bacon in their lunch, because they do take their lunch. But like I said, they're keto with a little bit of junk. So, because I don't want to.
They're teenagers still.
They're teenagers, and I don't want to restrict them, because so it works. It works.
Well, teenagers are just tough to convince of anything in general. It's not that you don't want to restrict them. Good luck convincing, trying to restrict them. Put that in a different way. It's saying good luck trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I remember being 16, I was pretty bullheaded.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, I thought, I knew everything. I just knew it all, Allison.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my gosh, I tell you. And now looking back, I knew nothing.
Right, yeah.
But it doesn't feel like that at the time. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course not. Yeah.
No. All right, let's look for some more cues here. Man, I get arthritis in my finger going through all these.
Right. You'll have to eat a steak to flush that out.
Yeah. I just had a ribeye before I came on here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't usually eat after 6 or 7. I don't like to eat very late anymore either.
Scott says magnesium helps restless leg syndrome if anybody's got that. Yeah, whenever I would get restless, it would always be in my arms and not my legs. I would always felt like I had to stretch my arms out. And then the feeling would come back and I'd have to stretch it. It used to be when I took Tylenol PM. I hate that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, just flush every bottle of that down the drain. I hate that stuff. Whenever I took it, I constantly I was like, why did I take this? Why? Yeah. I can't. I'm not even sleeping. I'm just up stretching my arms. Yeah. That's some sleep medicine. They sell it, and I'm up all night stretching my arms. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you. But here's a fun one.
Okay.
Would you take $1 million to go back to your old way of eating? It's a lot of money, Allison.
I know it is. I've
been trying to give away this $1 million to somebody.
No, because now that I feel better, I can make $1 million.
Absolutely.
So, I would not be able to make $1 million if I went back to my old sad ways.
No, it's true. And I try to bring that up to people, because money isn't everything. And it's very important. But if your health, if you ain't got your health, man, what do you have? Really?
Yeah.
You're bankrupt without your health.
Right. Yeah. I spent a lot of years feeling really bad, and there's nothing more important than your health. Sadly, people don't realize that until they're older and sicker. Then, so I try to, drill that into the kids, and you've got to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. So, like
Rick says, before you're circling the drain, do it before you're starting to circle the drain, folks.
Yeah.
What are 3 tips you would give? You could give to someone just starting out on the carnivore diet or thinking about starting it. What are some tips on starting the diets that would help them?
Yeah, I went all or nothing, cold turkey. So I think that I would try to ease into it. If, it can be so daunting to think, oh, I'm just going to do this, and you might never start. So maybe start slow and start
with bacon, right?
Yeah, start just eating more bacon, adding more meat in, eating more meat, fatty meat, ground beef, eggs. You don't have to eat fancy stuff. You can eat bacon and eggs and ground beef. But just, go into it slowly and maybe eliminate one thing at a time. Maybe eliminate seed oils first and then eliminate, make sure you're getting your electrolytes. Um, yeah, so those are some tips. Is that 3? Two.
No, those are good tips.
And join into a community, because the community aspect is that's what puts you over. That's what keeps you going, because most people don't eat this way, don't even know, and they're going to question you, and you're going to feel kind of weird. So join into watch the YouTube, interact with the people on the YouTube that are making videos on social media. And everyone I've ever contacted on any kind of social media platform has responded to me. All of them, even the big, really popular influencers, they have always responded. When you have questions, because you're going to have a lot of questions in the beginning, so if you can join in, there's someone out there that will help you, that will get with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a question here.
Oh.
When you cook, do you use animal fats? If so, what's your favorite?
Butter.
Yeah, I use beef tallow and butter.
Yeah, I do use a little bit of beef tallow, but I really don't cook a lot. I warm food up to temp.
Yeah, you said your husband does a lot of the
he does
steak cooking.
He does all of the steaks and all the the grilling. But I don't eat lots of different cuts of meat, because I have trouble with slow. I don't do crock pot stuff, but it's working. So why mess with it?
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rick says when you are circling the drain, it's too late. And my tip would be what Rick's tip is when someone's starting carnivore, try keto first, because a lot of people go from vegan to carnivore, then they're sick as a dog.
Yes.
When you should have just worked your way in a little bit. So at least if you're like me, I was eating a lot of the bacon and stuff anyways. I wasn't a vegan at all ever in my life. So carnivore was just like a cannonball in for me. I was just like, yeah, this is going to be fun. And I didn't get sick, and I'm still not taking electrolytes. So I'm maybe not normal, but try, if you're coming from vegetarian or vegan, I definitely would take Rick's advice and maybe try keto first before you go to carnivore or lion diet. Because
in the very beginning, I think it was, I thought I'll just do lion diet in the very beginning. And that was a rough transition, because I was eating a lot of vegetables, chicken, lots of nuts and seeds, and Greek yogurt. And so I was eating eggs, but I don't know. I couldn't even tell you the last time I'd had before carnivore, taco meat or any kind of ground beef or anything, because I never really liked the taste of meat, So I did have a transition part, and then I had some oxalate dumping because I'd been so almond milk, and that just stuff does not work for my system. Not at all.
I'm actually not doing any dairy now, so I cut out all the dairy.
Yeah.
Feeling great. You want to take this one, Alison?
Do any of you make your own tallow from Carnivore Scott? I do not. I buy it from people that make it, though. I have not ever done
I heard it's pretty easy, but no, I haven't done it. It's just, for me, it's easier when I'm already shopping for my ribeyes. The lady at the farm, she's already got it, and she knows I like it, so it's already set out to the side. I'm telling you, when you start shopping at the farm, guys, it is so nice. The farmers get to know you. They know what cuts you like, what's the stuff you like. They put it in a nice little box for you, or you get one of those little food bags, that insulated.
Yes.
The last one I went to, they gave me a free food bag. I was like, I brought my own. You guys don't have to do it. They're like, no, take it. It's got the logo. I was like, wow, thank you. So nice. People are so nice at the farm, and you get to see that. Everyone I've went to, they've let me look at the cows and stuff, and it's like you go to Walmart, all the animals are dead.
Right. Yes.
So I go to the farm. And there's life, and there's cuts of beef, and there's
Yeah.
There's corn waving in the
Yes.
wind, and I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's so nice. There's cats running around and chickens,
Uh-huh.
and the last one I went to, they had the two most gangster geese I've ever seen. They were
Really?
gangster geese. Like they said that the geese protect all of the other birds, all the
Really?
chickens, all of I forgot what else she had. She had chicken, turkey, and geese.
Uh-huh.
And the geese, there's two of the geese, they're gray. And we even went near where the animals were, and they were. I was like, whoa, whoa, easy,
Oh,
fellas. They were about their business. So if you guys are looking for security guards, get two geese instead of a Rottweiler. I think you'll be just as safe. Trust me.
yeah.
You
Good
want
to
to take
know.
this one from Mike?
Sure. Okay. Primal Mike says, is there any goal in life that you hope a carnivore lifestyle to help you reach in the near future? In the near future, I would like
Great
to,
question, Mike.
yeah. Uh, is this a goal? I would like to continue aging naturally, slowly. And I want to keep one of the most important things, is probably the most important thing to me, is my brain health. I do not want to have trouble with my brain when I am older. And I also don't want to fall off a curb when I'm in my late 60s or 70s and break a bone. So I eat this way for that reason. And then I also do some of the physical activity to stay strong. Um, yeah. And actually, let me tell you this too. This is more to ease into the next stage of my female life, menopause, to go through that naturally. That is a near future goal to just
That's
ease the
that's a good
transition.
goal. Yeah, because like I have newfound energy. I would have never even started
Yeah.
chatting with carnivores. Well, obviously, if I didn't know about the
Right.
diet, but I would have not had the energy either to start a. There's a reason I didn't have a podcast before. I didn't feel good.
Right.
Didn't have
Yeah.
the energy for one, and
Yeah. You didn't want to
now I
do
do.
anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another one, Lucia. Can you say Lucia?
Lucia.
There you go.
Lucia.
Question: do your neighbors mail order beef? I'm not sure. I never asked them that because I'm always there to just pick it up. So if you guys are interested in maybe getting some beef from the two farms by me, I will ask them, and I will find out for you guys if they do. I can always make a post on my community tab and let you guys know if they do. Because it is nice. I'm telling you, it's the beef I've had from them is amazing. Like and I know like this is nice cows that were from Wisconsin. So like I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about it was some sick cow from Mexico or something.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
um, before we go, what's something on your heart, Allison? What do you want to talk to the people about?
I just really want people to know that food really can change your life. What you eat can correct a lot of the health issues that you're dealing with. If you're depressed or have anxiety, you could try this. Just try it for 30 days. Try it for 14 days and see how you feel. And then maybe you'll go to 30 days. I think you'll like it. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. I thank God that I decided to do this on January 16th of 2023. And I want people to know that this is an option, that you don't have to take a pill or take 4 pills, and that you can eat your meat and be happy.
Yep, you can
Yeah.
be satisfied. You don't have to be
Yeah.
haunted with cravings all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. I don't have cravings. I
And
don't
when
get
I say I'm
hungry.
eating all day long, I'm not like sitting there craving. It's just like when I'm
Yeah.
hungry, I listen to my body, then I'll eat
Yeah.
some meat or eggs, and then I move on, and then
Exactly.
it
It
is what
it
it is.
becomes like a task almost, oh, okay, now it's time to eat. It's kind of like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Now it's time to eat.
Just do it and
So
get it done.
yeah. 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 It takes a lot of that decision fatigue away. Like,
Hmm.
oh gosh, what am I going to have tonight? What am I going to make for the kids tonight?
Oh, and then
Gonna
some of
have
the stuff you make, it needs like 30 different ingredients.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
It's
all this
paper.
prep time. I'm like, come on, man, just throw the ribeye on and let's go. I'm
Let's do it.
hungry.
Yeah. That's right. Yes.
Overcomplicating it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only way to
Yeah.
be easier is if I ate it raw, and I'm not going to do that. So,
Yeah.
but it's
I will
pretty
never
dang
do that.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had fun. Did you have fun, Allison?
I did. So this is my first one. JT, thank you so much. I'm so glad that
I'm glad. I
you
like being
offered
people's
it.
first because I like,
Mhm.
if I feel like if anybody's sitting down at the lunch table by themselves, like I was always that guy. I go and
Oh
plop
yeah,
down right next to him and just
yeah.
talk to him. And, you know, and like Carrie says, a rising tide lifts all
This stuff.
ships.
Yes, that's
So
right. Yeah.
it's just very important to hear your story as well, because there's somebody
Mhm.
out there too that's going to relate and say, wow, I thought I was the only one,
Yeah, yeah.
and some people don't lose 400 pounds on carnivore, and some
Right.
people lose 600 pounds on carnivore.
Yeah,
Everybody's different. We all have a different story, because some people don't
yeah.
come to this diet for, weight reasons, and some people do. Some people
Yes.
come to it, like for me, I was already losing weight from cutting out beer and soda.
Uh-huh.
But,
Mhm.
just cutting out beer and soda did not get rid of my sleep apnea, my IBS. I
Mhm.
still had it. So
Yeah.
carnivore diet really knocked, I mean, IBS, yeah, that was nice to get rid of, but the sleep apnea, I went to bed every
Oh,
night and wasn't sure if I was gonna wake up again. And
that is a terrifying feeling.
it
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Mhm.
to know you're alive and breathing, and I never wanted to go to sleep because I was like, "Well,
Mhm.
I'm alive now. I don't know though if I go to
Right.
bed, if I'm." So I was starting to lose a lot of sleep because I was just so afraid to go to bed, because I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, if I stay awake, I'm alive." It's
Right.
That's no way to live. It is just no
No,
way
that's
to
no
live.
way to live because you got it. Your body's gonna fall asleep eventually.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
just
thank
only so
God that
much you
helped.
could do. So I
Yeah.
and we were talking about earlier before the stream even started how we wish we would
Mhm.
have found it sooner, but you
Yeah.
guys don't beat yourself up if you found the carnivore diet late in life. Like I was telling Allison, better late than never, because there are some people today that bit the dust today, and there's also people who didn't even wake up this morning, and
Mhm.
they did not hear about this in time. And if we have years of our life ahead of us to eat this diet and feel better, then that's a blessing. So better late than never, you guys. Hindsight's always
Yeah.
2020. We can always
Yeah.
look back and beat ourselves up, but I suggest not to do that. Love yourself and be glad that you found it, and be glad that this prayer has been answered. There's a lot of people praying for help with their problems, and they don't know that the prayer has been answered. It's the carnivore
Mhm.
diet, at least for your nutrition and your health. The prayer
Yes.
has been answered, and we just
Yeah.
gotta help people raise their awareness that it's available. It's
Mhm.
here. The prayer's been answered, and it's time to get going,
Yeah.
and get moving.
Yeah.
Time to start living again, folks.
That's right. Yeah.
hmm Well, you guys go and subscribe to Alison's channel. There's value in her, and there's value in her story.
Thank
My
you.
coach always says repetition is the first law of learning. So you guys, please
Mhm.
repeat this, learn as much as you can. I guarantee you're not just going to learn, you're going to smile again, you're going to laugh at something, because
Yeah.
these interviews are always fun. So
Yeah,
um,
it's so much fun.
yep, and an hour just flies by like it's
Yeah,
nothing, you
it
guys.
does.
I absolutely love it. You
Yeah.
guys, thank you for coming out. I appreciate you guys. Everybody in the comments, Allison for sharing her story. Thank
Thank
you
you.
and goodbye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.